Okay, so just to let you know, I'm recording.
Okay.
You said you were 2.1K?
Yeah. My party's like 1.8-ish because I calibrated super low.
Okay.
But and this game's a party game, but the guy who I was partying with I think is like 3 something.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's fine. Recently, okay, excellent.
and I do believe I think Dazzle's like my second or third most played hero, so
Okay. Yep. Dazzle's a good hero to learn support on for sure. Like, he's very basic, but there are a lot of nuances to him.
yeah.
And there's not like, crazy mechanics to get distracted by while you're learning, like, how to effectively get wards down, how to zone the offlaner, stuff like that. It's a good choice, I think.
Yeah, that's why I mainly like to play him is cuz it's way easier for me to zone
Right.
even as but
Okay. Gonna speed up.
Bloodseeker.
Mirana.
Okay, so you guys were playing Dazzle Huskar?
yeah,
Legion
that's
Commander.
yeah, that's who I was laying with.
The
Okay.
battle is ours.
I don't actually know that guy.
Victory is assured.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
This
So
one
lack
is
of communication
in the bag.
would maybe be a problem.
Yeah, but I mean that's true, and the communication is important in like the safe lane because like you guys are working together, but you shouldn't worry about it so much because like
Yeah,
I mean that's not
well,
something you can control.
he
So
spoke English, so that helped.
oh, that is good. But if you play a solid game, then you don't have to worry about that really. You can just do your thing and do your job. Okay, so you start with stick number 1, I think. You need sentries pretty much no matter what. And this
Okay.
is a little bit tricky because like you have a jungle legion commander, and this guy's not going to buy anything because he's stupid. But this like it's better to have sentries than observer wards for a
Okay.
safe lane support, and that's mainly because if the offlaner blocks this camp, and like it
Which I
becomes super
think
hard. Yeah, if it happens, then it becomes super hard for you to get levels, and you can't do your job. Whereas if you had sentries, then you can still do your job. And your team does need observer wards, like it's important, but you can buy them after.
okay.
So sentry is definitely number 1 priority. You
Okay.
can ask the offlaner to buy their own ward or something like that. But yeah,
Okay, so if I was playing off lane or like fourth position,
hmm
so then would sentries fall on the second support or or like would you just determine that
you just
just
determine
one
that
second?
based on the game. Like
All right.
if you had an actual support, you could ask the 4 to buy sentries or whatever, like sentries in a smoke. But
Okay.
it definitely like you split up the buy usually.
30 seconds to battle.
In competitive games, it can be a little different, but you don't have to worry about that really.
Yeah.
Like, just keep it simple. One person buys courier wards, and the other one buys sentries. But yeah, sentries are definitely like number 1 priority after the courier.
Okay.
Okay.
The battle begins.
Offerings for the twins.
Okay, you're wasting a little time here. It's not too bad, but okay, that was a mistake. When you place wards at the beginning of the game, you want to make sure, like, absolutely sure that the enemy can't see you, because like
Okay.
you're basically showing on the map right here. Like, if the offlaner is staying here, or if he's up on this cliff while you're placing this at like 4 seconds or whatever it was, then
Okay.
they'll know that there's a ward there, so they can just
The
avoid that
battle
area, or they can
begins.
even worse, deward it. So you always want to make sure like you're warding. Like, if you want to ward this spot specifically, then you would come from here and ward like from behind the trees so they can't see you. Or for example, if you want to lane ward the middle lane, like for your side, you could like just creep up and then ward from like right here, or ward from back here, right here. Do you know what I mean? So like you're still
Uh
staying out of fog.
yeah, my for some reason my share screen like just froze.
Okay, I can restart it. I think I explained that poorly, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah, it's working now.
Okay, cool. Okay, so do you know what I mean about the warding thing? Like you never want to
Yeah.
place wards when the enemy can see you.
Yes.
Okay, that's actually like a very important support concept.
yeah, other people brought that up to me
Mhm.
as well. So, but yeah, I should definitely work on that.
Right. Okay, so also, most offlaners will block the creep wave so that the range creep is running out in front, and like the range creep dies, and then the lane pushes towards their tower.
Yeah.
So what you want to do as a support when the lane starts is you want to like be here early, so you can catch a creep wave, and then the creeps will aggro on you, and you can like bunch them up again. So the range creep is like in the middle of their melee creeps. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I remember.
and that
Yeah.
that counteracts that block, and that's very huge as well.
Yeah.
That's actually especially important when they block this camp.
Okay. So yeah, it doesn't seem like they did this game. But...
Yep.
Denied.
Okay, I think at the start there you should not be so scared. Let's
Okay.
go back a little bit more. Like, basically, as long as you're not taking creep damage, it's okay to trade with the offlaner. In fact, it's pretty important that you do that. Like, especially when you have Shadow Wave, because you can just like walk up right next to him. Depending on the hero, of course. Like in this case, it's a Tusk, so you can't trade with him, since you're both level 1. You can just basically run up, hit him, and then Shadow Wave when he gets close to try to trade with you again. Especially, like I'm just saying this as a solo support, it's okay to do this, but if you're communicating with your partner, then you guys should hit him together, and then he has absolutely no way to like trade effectively. So he like 100% has to back off. That's important.
Okay.
Okay, so you go to stack this. This is okay. I think I would have preferred to see you just pull right away.
Okay. Yeah. The one reason that that I didn't do that was because I was way too afraid that Tusk was just gonna walk over and try to take it, and I didn't think I would be able to go on him after that.
Okay, that's valid.
To pull through.
Right.
But then Huskar just killed him anyways, so.
Yeah, that was this guy being really dumb. He just ran up and died, but whatever. So at this point, your main priority should just be pulling and getting levels. Like, you want to make sure you don't chain pull and like mess up the lane equilibrium, but you definitely want to like work on getting levels.
Yeah.
That's number 1 priority. This guy is making a huge mistake here. I would be so mad, but yeah. All right. At least he pulled at least. Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, the one time I do like the only time most of the time I pull through, but I feel as Dazzle, I can stack and pull a lot easier because I can clear the creep camp with Shadow Wave or his E or whatever.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think it's still better to pull through though. Like it's more golden XP pretty much no matter what.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, as long as you kill this camp, then it's more golden XP for sure. And you can do that as Dazzle. But you're right though. It is a little risky that the offlaner can like mess with you a little bit. But that also relies on them knowing the timings of the pulse and like knowing when to contest, or they could just get like lucky or whatever and run over at the right time. But it's still fine to go for these pull through kind of things, because then like the worst case scenario is the offlaner knows what to do, and he knows where to be, and just like how to counter that play. So like this is 2K, so Fabio Asterisk probably doesn't know what the correct counter play to pulls are, so you should be fine in that regard. But stacking this camp isn't bad at all. Like this is a great thing for beginners to do, I think.
Okay.
Because it's pretty catastrophic when you like you go to pull through and you mess it up or whatever. So until you have that well practiced, then I think it's fine to just stack.
And then I think I did start trading with him.
Yeah, this is trading.
Stood there.
Yeah.
Twice.
All right. Well, he snowballs on you. I think if Huskar was in like a slightly better position, Tusk would be dead, but it's all good. Not much you can do about that. The lane is. Sorry, go ahead.
I did accidentally aggro the creeps there. Should I have gotten out of lane and then came back, or do you think, like because of how close the waves were?
This is fine. You should definitely like running up to your creeps is 100% the play.
Okay.
Okay, going for the denial is like crazy, but like aggroing the creeps back to your wave is definitely the play. You don't want to run this way because then there's like a brief period of time where your creeps are not getting hit by their creeps.
Okay.
So naturally that will make the wave push.
So yeah, so try to avoid aggro, but if it aggroes, just run back to the creeps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Especially oftentimes when you're trading with the offlaner, it'll be like very close to the range creep, and you have a chance to aggro it. So range creep will often like just chase you around the trees like this and be super annoying. So you want to like number one prevent that from happening by just knowing the aggro range, which is like around 500 units. And
Right.
number two, just if you do aggro it, which is going to happen sometimes, just run it back to the wave.
Okay.
Okay, so right here you should realize that you have 2 range creeps alive, even if it's only for a couple seconds. So your wave
Okay.
is going to push. So right now you need to be pulling at 241, and it looks like you do. So looks good. Okay, good.
Zap.
Should probably no. This will be fine. Okay. And you're denying. That's good. Small thing, like you just did this here, so it's fine. But if you can, you want to make sure the neutrals get the last hit, because that eliminates all XP from the enemy.
Okay.
Whereas if you deny it, it gives them half XP.
Okay.
If he's in range like this. So like the neutral just got the kill and you got no XP. We can just watch that real
Okay.
quick. That's pretty important when you pull this side camp. And yeah. Okay, so he still has 88 EXP.
All right.
Good small thing. But I know I'm harping on the laning phase a lot, but this is probably like, your time to shine. This is where like if you're a good
Yeah.
support, this is like where you can dominate the offlaner and really set your team up for a good game. So this is the most important part of support by far in matchmaking, at least.
So like right there, I probably should have been.
Yeah, you
attempting
should be hitting him here. It's like, it's a little weird in this game because they have a Nature's Prophet that can pressure you, and he's jungling. So like he's basically always free, but you don't have to worry about this so much. It should just be like in the back of your mind or whatever. Okay. I think stacking this camp here would have been fine. Like
Yeah.
generally when the rune is spawning, like the next minute the rune is spawning, you just want to stack this camp or like go over here and stack this, and then run to the rune.
Yeah.
And
I
just,
think at that point, what I was trying to do, I was like, you can see me like run back, but then it was 53, so I didn't think I'd be able to.
Yeah.
But I probably could have still stacked it because it
Dire's
was
middle tower
54.
is under attack.
But-
Yeah. Well, that's true. Like you probably would have missed it, but you want to be planning to stack it.
Yeah.
Or like
yeah.
you want to have a
That one
like since you're not last hitting in lane or whatever,
Your death
you don't like your
ennobles
job
us.
is to pull and make sure the offlaner can't get XP. You have a lot of time to plan your moves out. Like
Yeah.
you can be ready for potential ganks on mid. You can be ready for if your offlaner needs help and you need a TP down there, or you can like plan out your next 20 seconds. Like okay, I'm gonna sit here and zone the offlaner, and then at 40 seconds I'm gonna run over to our hard camp and then pull it this way and stack it, and then go to the rune,
Radiant's top
and that'll be
tower
like
is
30
under attack.
seconds. See, that's
Okay.
you should be thinking about this kind of thing if you're not doing anything at the time. Like it's
Yeah.
even more so important on support. Also, there's something that happens back here.
Dire's middle tower
Okay.
is under attack.
Trading.
Go away.
Good. You hit him with the shadow wave damage. Very important. Okay, he
That
dies.
one hurt.
And then I like
Okay,
stood
yeah.
still and took an extra hit and died.
Yeah, it just looked like you didn't know your damage potential. So you went for an extra right click. Like you didn't think the right click and the poison damage would kill him.
That one hurt.
So you just kept running forward a little bit, but it cost you your
Your
life.
death
Also, you could have just like ran straight back into the ice shards.
Oh, okay.
Like you could have just ran
True.
up here, because you would have gotten out of tower range then.
Oh,
You were
yeah.
acting like this is a fissure or something. But that's just a mechanical thing. I mean, that stuff like that will be fixed with time and more games played. So not much to worry about there. Okay, so you buy a wand. I think this is an okay choice.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's good to, not like spend all of your money on support items if you're the solo support. Like you just buy like bare necessities really and try to get by, because like it's important for your team to have wards, but it's also important for you to still be a hero in Dota. And sometimes you just need HP. Like you need this magic wand and you need boots in games. Like these are essential items. Otherwise, like your hero doesn't function as well, just because like you need to run faster to get in range to grade people
Radiant's top
or to
tower
shadow wave.
is under attack.
So you don't want to like just kill yourself buying wards. It's not fun and it's not good.
Yep.
Radiant's top tower
Okay, more
is
pulling,
under
more
attack.
levels, good stuff. You're gonna have to pull this one through. Okay, it looks like you're gonna miss it, but oh no, you got it. Okay, well you had it.
Okay.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm not really sure how to like switch the aggro to the neutrals perfectly. Like I've done it a few times, but I've also messed it up a lot.
Yep. Okay, so this is like a mechanics thing mostly. It's like you have to know the attack range of the creeps. So in this case, it's Dark Troll Summoners, and I think their attack range is like 450 off the top of my head. It could be a little less, but basically you just have to like know when they're going to attack you, so that you can plan to be hit by the projectile when the creeps are no longer like attacking neutrals. So like right here, you want to get hit by a neutral and be in range of the creeps.
Okay, so
So,
I just
like-
wasn't close enough.
Yeah, if you had saw the projectile here from the small troll, you could have just ran a little bit closer to the creeps and it would have aggroed. But yeah, it's not catastrophic. Also, sometimes you can recover the pull. If you miss a pull through, you can just like run really fast right here and pull it up at 50 seconds or so. And that's an okay way to recover. Okay, go to stack and go to the 6-minute rune. That's good. Good little maneuver here. You do want to be careful
Dire's
that
middle tower is
you don't
under
give up
attack.
a free kill though. Like when you do this kind of play, like you want to be mindful of which heroes are off the map. So let's look at
Okay.
your perspective. It looks like you have vision on Bloodseeker. No, you do not. Okay. It's weird that the replay does that. But basically you don't see many heroes right now. Like here's where you stack. The only heroes that are on the map are Lina. And that's it looks like. Yep. Okay. And you do see here at the rune, so you need to be a little careful, like on the map. Definitely don't go for this here. They have a lot of heroes that could be there. Like theoretically, there could be 2 or 3 heroes just sitting right here, or up here. Especially with Tusk, it's a huge risk.
Okay.
So that's just something to keep in mind when you go for runes like this. It's not the end of the world if you give up a kill, but it's something, obviously
Dire's
it's better
middle
not to
tower
die.
Yeah.
is under attack.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay, so I also think you should have bought a TP scroll a lot earlier on this hero. He's just naturally very good at saving people. Like if middle lane gets ganked,
Okay.
like Magnus gets ruptured or something by Bloodseeker, or Nature's Prophet TPs and Lina stuns him, then you can be his lifeline. So I think that is it's a really good habit to have. I think even before boots, having a TP on Dazzle is important. Okay, you got one there. Yeah, you had the right idea there. You just needed to run a little bit farther up.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I also find it's a lot easier on the Radiant side,
Mhm.
just because I've watched videos of it. But
Yeah, I would agree. It's a little easier. Okay, so when the carry leaves lane like this is a party for you. This is so great. Like, it's the best you get to farm. Definitely take advantage of this whenever you can. But key thing here is you absolutely need a TP scroll. Like,
yeah,
if
just
your
in
team,
case things go bad.
yeah, if you're available for to fight, then it's really good. And if you can help your team, that's even better. But yeah, other than that, getting levels is totally fine here. In fact, I would say it's really important that you're doing this right now, so that's good. Okay. So I've also noticed that you don't spend a lot of time looking around the map,
Okay.
like as a support, and this is fine for now. Like until you get a little bit, more comfortable, like just with playing Dota in general, then I think this is okay. But as you get higher MMR, you definitely want to be like, glancing towards mid and seeing if your mid hero is okay, if the enemy mid hero is low, if your offlaner is doing well, or if he's getting zoned out, where their supports are. You want to be keeping track of these things as a support,
Radiant's middle tower
because
is
like you're
under
the one
attack.
who is available to be looking at these things and thinking about them, so you can like
Yeah.
kind of structure your decision making this way. But definitely don't go too ham on that. Okay. don't need to tell you, there's no reason for you to die there. Shoot your grave yourself. You had plenty of time.
Yeah.
Maybe you thought you would have lived with like 1 extra right click, but also at this point, like, you have 800 gold here during this fight, and you could have used the courier and gotten detection. Like, that's a very important thing to have against Potom. Like, I know I just got done saying, like, you know, don't starve yourself. Don't screw yourself by buying too many wards or whatever. But detection is definitely, like, up there on the list of priorities. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say it's almost more important than wards. Just because, like, this Lina could have gotten away or whatever, just from a free invisibility. That's pretty scary. You don't want that. Also, boots would have been very helpful in that fight, but yeah. Definitely, since you don't get much gold as support, you want to make sure you're spending it, like, whenever you can. And, like, working towards your either support items or your item progression. It's quite important. Okay, speeding up. Okay.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, again, you don't have a TP scroll. This is quite bad. You also didn't buy detection. Basically, okay, so I'm gonna go over this afterward too. Like, I'm gonna cover it afterwards, but I'm gonna like give you a homework assignment here, and that's that from every game that you play from now on, you look at the enemy heroes as soon as the game starts, like after you gave the alpha under the ward or whatever, and you use the courier, and you want to see, do I need detection this game, and do I like, are they going to gank early? And if any of those two are like yeses, then you buy detection as soon as you can, as soon as the enemy team has invisibilities, or preferably just before. And you also have TP scrolls ready after, like, you know, a couple minutes. So that's I'm gonna go over that after, but that's really important, especially as a support. I think everyone should do this at the beginning of a game, but yeah. Okay, I think this is like a good ward spot, but you don't know if they have this warded or not, unless you've been keeping really good track of where they're warding. So it's kind of iffy to just go and place it like that. I think it's better to, like, you know, if you want a ward for a top river, it's better to just like walk down here and place it right here. Like, so you're still out of vision here, or at least you're less likely to be in vision. That's a small thing, but it does matter quite a bit. And maybe you'll never be punished by warding like this, like where they could have vision, like for maybe like 1,000 MMR, 2,000 MMR or something. But it's important to start building good habits now.
Yeah.
So it's just second nature to you later. Okay, buy a TP scroll, great. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, if you had a TP scroll beforehand, if you didn't like have to buy one at side shop, you would have been able to. Great Huskar. Maybe get some turn kills, maybe he just gets out, who knows. And now you're just a dazzle up here against like 2-3 heroes, and you don't want to be there at all. Luckily they suck. Again, you guys need detection really badly, but they're making the kills happen, so.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, so you pretty much are supposed to die here. Like, Tusk could have ice charged you while he was snowballing rather.
Okay.
And you would have gotten hit by the arrow as well. So in this case, if he casts the ice shards, like while he's mid snowball, then you want to grave yourself, because like, you know, CC is immediately following. Like, he's gonna punch you right after if you get caught in the shards. So I think this was fine. You also make sure you get your spells off, like you cast weave right away. So I think this is fine. Moving on.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Okay, at this point you should be looking for like somewhere to farm really. Like, Unless your team like specifically says like, all right, let's push bottom or something like that, and it's a good call, then you want to just be like, I don't know, middle lane is okay if there's nobody there. You just want to go to like wherever the free lane is and wherever the safe place is, and just farm it out a little bit. Like, you want to be mindful of where your other cores are farming. Like, if somebody's running to the lane, you don't want to just like push it really fast before they get there. But you definitely want to take farm as a support hero. It's pretty important. Like, your items matter quite a bit. Not as much as like, let's say a Magnus Blink or a Puck Blink or something like that, but you still need to have you know, the core items like Arcane Boots, Urn of Shadows, stuff like that. It's pretty important. Don't be afraid to farm just because you're a support hero.
Shadow wave.
Okay.
Moving on. It's pretty dry from here on, I'd assume.
Dire's middle tower is
It's just
under
gonna be like
attack.
warding, boring stuff, but stuff that matters. If you have any like general questions about support, just let me know. And yeah.
Yeah. Mainly like just looking at the stats. When I go 3-3-8, and the rest of my team has like 20 assists, showing up to fights, I feel like I'm either not showing up or showing up so early that they
Dire's
all
top
leave.
tower is under attack.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, I don't know. Main thing is just like I just don't show up at all sometimes, and it's kind of hard to determine whether or not if I TP if I'm gonna die instantly or.
Shadow wave.
So I don't
Well,
know.
this is
improve
like,
that.
I mean, this is a shitty answer, but it's an honest one. And the only way to improve this is like playing Dota and playing a lot of support. You just have to like, I mean, something that helps is you can like try to watch what cooldowns the enemy uses while they're fighting, or like wherever you're TPing to, and like trying to determine if they're going to be up when you TP. Because like you're a really high priority target, and you're also super easy to kill. Like that's a really bad combination to be in this world. So you got to be really careful. So if you're TPing to fights, you need to make sure that you won't just instantly die. So basically, you just need to either TP to like a farther place, or TP to a place where you know your team can help you. So like even if you do die, they can get return kills or whatever. But it's pretty iffy. Like it's safer to just be farming while your team is doing crazy stuff. And if you can TP, then do it. The best way to learn this is just fall on your face and get back up and then do it again next time, and then see how that goes. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain this. Was that like sort of clear?
Yeah, actually.
Okay. Yeah, definitely just like try to keep track of enemy cooldowns, and that will basically help you make better decisions in regards to like if we should fight or if we should back off or if I should keep farming, etc.
Okay.
Dire's top tower is
So
under
when you're
attack.
approaching tower pushes like this, like, I don't think you have a ward on you here. No, you don't. But when you're approaching any tower, like if you have the option to, and you do right now, you want to get a ward behind that tower. And this will clue you into like a lot of things. It'll let you know if anyone is running to the tower from the lane, if they're running away from the tower, or if they're TPing in. Like you won't know if they're TPing into the trees, but that's like at that point you're like corralling them into a tiny spot, so that's okay. But it's definitely important to have vision back here.
Okay.
So that's just having a ward on you for the right time, kind of thing.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower.
Your positioning here is a bit
Radiant's
off.
bottom tower is under
It's
attack.
okay because you're next to your team, but ideally you would be up here in these trees.
Dire's top
Like
tower is under attack.
rather than running here originally, you would just be up here in fog, behind your team.
All right.
That way, like, you're still in range to cast Grave and Shadow Wave and Weave, but you don't have to run into this little danger zone here. Like, it's very unlikely that they go on you here, but they could, and they could CC you from here. Whereas, like, unless they're way behind here, like, you know, flanking you guys, then you're safe to cast your spells, and you can reliably get a grave off. You don't need to be, like, way up here in the fray. There's almost no point.
Alright.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower
That's probably
has
one of the
fallen.
more important things of playing support, actually, is just making sure that you stay in range to cast your spells when you're needed, and you don't position in crazy places. Like, hitting towers is generally a no-no, especially
Alright.
T3s. I see supports do this all the time, even at 6k. Like, their team will be hitting the tower and sieging, and then they'll just be hitting it with them, and then they get hit by one nuke or one stun, and they instantly die, and the push is over. So that's actually super important, now that I bring it up.
Okay. So just like stay out of range. Don't be hitting in the tower during team pushes.
Yeah, and during like just basically area control situations. Like this applies around Roche too. Like generally staying up here is an okay idea if you're like on Dire. Just stay in range of your teammates, out of range of your enemies. That's like the long and short of it. Okay. I don't know when you TP'd up here. Okay, so we dove the tower, got it. That's great. Right now, you also had time to, like, if you had wards, this would be a great time to, you know, go with your team and get some wards down. Because, like, you just eliminated this big objective here. And you're all grouped up anyway. So this is a good strategic move to go down and place wards. It's like a pretty textbook, and a lot of people expect it, but this is 2k, so it's unlikely that, like, the wards will get dewarded, and they'll be very high value later. Okay, so I think you elect to TP top here and farm, which is totally fine. Nothing wrong with that, really. You just want to make sure that you're not taking away from a chorus farm. But yeah, I think this is fine. The lane needs to be pushed out. Okay, great. You get the melee minion low, and then last hit it with Shadow Wave. Good stuff. I called it a minion. Jesus. League of Legends. Alright. I've been exposed. Moving on.
Too much exposure.
Yeah. Okay, so this is, you're not really respecting that they have a lot of kill potential here, and you're gonna die, basically. Like, this guy should kill you no matter what. Like, you could TP out here. Okay, well, that's good. I feel like they should have been, you know, a lot faster on that, but it's, in the end, it actually is really good for you, because, like, you make this guy run up here, so whatever. But when you're pushing out lanes like this, it's good to be doing this as support. It's fine. Like, you need farm, and you need to be pushing waves as well. But you want to, like, make mental notes of who can kill you, like, and what combination of heroes and spells, and, like, try to guess where they are on the map, like, while you're pushing. Like, it can be tough sometimes, but it's important. Okay. So at this point, you have a Huskar on your team, and you are Dazzle. Therefore, you want to do Roshan. That's just, like, automatically one of your objectives.
Okay.
It's worth popping a smoke and just going to ward, like, around this area, like here, maybe up here, and dewarding common spots. Like, up here is pretty common, up on this ridge is pretty common. So you can deward these spots and then ward in here. And you can also do this with teammates. You don't have to do it solo. It's quite good. And you want to just be, like, hinting, like, hey, I think we should do Roche. Mainly, like, after you get this tower, and after you get middle tower, that's when Roche is, like, you know, an even better option. But yeah. This only applies when you have heroes on your team who are really good at soloing Roche, or, like, maybe duoing it with a medallion or something. But it's an important concept. You never want to just go for a random blind Roche. Which, okay, never mind. Also, I saw you were doing the thing that I was just talking about back here.
Wait.
One sec. Okay, so you're running up, and you just start hitting these creeps, I think. You went to deny your creeps. Alright. Let's watch. Okay, yeah, you just went for like a random creep deny, whereas like your positioning should be way back here. Like
Okay.
way back here. Or back here. This is fine too. But yeah, you don't need to hit these creeps. It's okay to shadow wave them, because that has like much longer range, but yeah.
Okay.
No reason for you to be here.
Radiant's
Okay.
middle tower is under attack.
So this was like a weird play, but there are some mechanical things that you did wrong here. You're not watching your team at all.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Like, there's like a tiny sliver where you glance down like this, you move your camera like this, but you really need to be getting a way bigger picture of what's going on in the fight.
Okay.
Like, you could have casted Weave, and it wouldn't have done much, but, you know, that's something you could have done. You could have at least weaved a couple of heroes. You're basically tunnel visioned on this guy dueling, which is not bad, but, like, you don't want to tunnel vision as a support.
Okay.
Like, especially one as Dazzle, because, like, you didn't cast any spells this fight. You only cast Shadow Wave, and, like, I don't know if it would have made a difference, but graving a Huskar can be, like, the difference between a one team fight and a lost team fight, just because the hero does so much damage. And, yeah, it's just important to be, like, one, in position to cast spells, and two, you know, at least, like, be looking at your team and deciding whether or not they need to be graved, you know, 5 seconds in advance or something like that. Or, like, getting ready. And that, like, that reduces a lot of the need for having good reaction time, too, if you're planning like this.
Okay.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Okay, I'm gonna speed through here.
Yeah.
I really think the most important part is just the laning phase, and like afterward it's just like warding. Those are the two most important things, and like spell casting. That's really important too, but it's harder to teach that. Like,
Yeah.
Because every situation is so different. But by spell casting, I mean just like the positioning part of casting a spell, like meeting the requirements of being in range, and also using them correctly. So like, you know, being in range here during being in range of this team fight here, and also casting your grave on the right target and stuff. And that comes with practice and like preparation. Okay, so you tried to do something fancy here, which I like. You should never be afraid to go for plays like this. But you want to have this tree cut beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured that out since then. That it's...
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, if you just cut this tree, then pull us at 53, and pull us at, you know, 55 or whatever, then it's pretty easy. But that's really good. I like seeing stuff like this. Good stuff. Okay, so I think it's rather inefficient to keep going at this point, so we can either go back and watch the laning phase again and see, like, maybe even more inefficiencies, or we can watch another replay. Whichever one suits you.
Yeah, we can do another replay.
Okay, cool. What time is it? Okay.
Okay, it's loading.
Yep, no rush.
I'll probably do Crystal Maiden one because I feel like positioning is important, but I'm bad at it, so.
Okay, perfect. Also, CM is a hero that's like, it's important that you're really efficient early on, so there's probably a lot of juicy stuff there. So good choice.
I guess we'll do. I'm trying to see if I remember any of these games. All right, well, we'll just do this one.
Yeah, as long as there's not like
It looks
an intentional
relatively
feeder.
close.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Let me type the match ID.
Okay. So you are Crystal Maiden. You go for Yules against. Okay, I don't like the build already, but that's fine.
The reason I think I went for Yules was because Abaddon, like, I find it useful against Abaddon in low level because they just keep hitting him. So if I can like Yules him
all right.
all,
Yeah, that's actually not bad. I mean, realistically, like a force staff is probably more useful, but that's not bad thinking. So, it's
but
fine.
yeah, like looking back, just looking at like the teams, I can already tell that Force Staff was the better option.
Yeah, like I don't remember their exact composition, but they had a lot of melee cores, like Wraith King and Jug, so that would have been really good. Let's go back. Okay. So CM. Okay, so I think the most important part of CM really is like the first 2 or 3 minutes, like how you go about the jungle and like who you choose to gank or if you just choose to farm or whatever. I would like to see you kill Zeus in this game. And, well, actually it depends on where Abaddon is. But yeah, I think killing Zeus with your mid hero would be ideal. Because like he is super easy to gank if he's their mid. You can just buy a smoke, run behind him, and CC him. And depending on your hero, he pretty much is dead.
Okay.
But as long as they have some kind of nuke, it's CM is really good at killing Zeus. If you can, manage to land your CC on him. Okay, so you have to go for.
I should have bought sentries there.
Yeah, 100%. Like the stick is conceptually good to have this game, but you need sentries more than you need the stick early on.
Okay, I don't remember. I feel like I did go into the jungle because we were tri-laning this.
Yeah.
But I don't
30 seconds to battle.
Basically, there are like very, very few situations where you don't start in the jungle as Crystal Maiden. You want to definitely start like in the jungle, 100%.
Okay, really? Because I play with like my friends who are always and when we lane together, they hate it when I start in the jungle and try to get to level 2.
Okay, that's because they suck. No, getting level 2 is so good. Like giving your team 1 mana regen per second globally is amazing. That's so good. Like every hero in Dota has mana. They all want to cast spells. Like this is so good. This is insane. It's insane for you and it's insane for your team. It's so good. The exceptions are like basically what my pathing is as CM usually is like I briefly look at their offlaner and like where he's positioned, and if I don't think there's any possibility of him dying, then like I go and do this camp or I do this camp over here, and I just do it.
Okay.
And I don't care what my team says because I'm CM and I'm gonna do it, and they're gonna get mana and they're gonna like it. That is like that's your job as CM is to get levels fast because that's what you can do. Now, if you can kill the offlaner with your heroes, and it looks like you can, like depending on who it is, like if it's Earthshaker, you definitely can.
I think they went 2-on-2.
Okay. Like you have really good fighting heroes, so it's a possibility to get a gank, but you definitely want to make sure you're efficient.
Lose this game, I believe.
Okay, I believe it. I mean, I can already tell their heroes are much easier to play than yours, and that's like a big thing actually. Okay. Small tip, it's not really related, but never start Fire Blast on Ogre, always start Ignite. Does much more damage. Yeah. Also, you get more auto attacks off, like just by using Ignite usually. So it does even more spell damage, and it sets your team up for more damage as well. Just yeah, small thing. I think you played that fine though. Okay, so Abaddon is like a unique thing, because he can purge off your Frostbite with a Photic Shield. So it's like actually really hard to kill him. I think it's totally fine to just like commit to jungling at this point. Okay, you pop your clarity, good. You want to make sure not to get this popped until you at least have, enough regen. Oh, it's gonna get popped, so no. Alright.
Yeah.
Well, at least you have a spell, so whatever. But yeah, you want to definitely like try to gain a better understanding of like how creeps move in the jungle. That clarity is actually very important early on. Also, what I like to do is like, if it's a centaur camp, you won't get level 2 from it no matter what. So I usually kill the big centaur and then go kill another big creep or like the wildkin here or one of these, big ogres.
Okay.
That'll give you enough XP for it too. And,
Okay.
Okay, so this is actually a huge efficiency mistake. Like, you started in the jungle and you're not level 2 right now. So if you're
Alright.
level 2, this would be fantastic. It'd be great. But because you're not level 2, it's bad.
Okay.
And that's because you went for the little centaur rather than another creep. Because you can always go back and clear the other camp. But it's important to get that level 2 as fast as you can.
Alright.
Okay, so this lane is like pretty difficult for you guys to gank, but I think you can do it. Okay, especially when they just suicide like that. He has no shields, so he should die here. Yeah, excellent. Oh, let's watch this setup a little bit. Your camera control is bad here, and mainly because like you don't see the positioning of the enemy heroes at all, like other than on the minimap. Like you only see them right here. You could have started planning your your route and stuff much earlier.
Okay.
But in dual offlane scenarios, there are like interesting timings. You don't have to worry about them so much, but basically you want to fight them early on when all the enemy heroes are level 1, assuming you guys have like stuns or whatever, because like they will get level 2 faster than you, assuming that you're sharing XP.
Okay.
So you just want to make sure that you're fighting on even terms or like better terms. Like I can't think of the phrase, but you want to be stronger than them. So even or stronger usually. And stronger could mean like, maybe this guy is level 5 and you guys are all level 3, but you have 3 heroes, so you can overpower him, and you have like 2 stuns and a couple nukes.
Okay. And I think here I was just trying to stay out of lane because there was already 2 heroes sapping XP.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Like you have no spells, so you're totally useless there. So that's the right idea. Okay, you go to the 2-minute rune, great. You deny it, fantastic. I think you guys could have gone for a kill here. Like you should have been watching for your gyro's positioning, like seeing what he was doing. I think he sticks up and like yeah. So watch from his perspective. Like he sees the enemy Zeus going for the rune, and he has stick charges at this point, so he's probably not going to die. So if you just run up and eat his nuke, you're not going to die. Like you're pretty full HP.
Okay.
And it's relatively early on. Like we can just look at the numbers: 175 damage and 85 damage. So you wouldn't die here. Right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Especially because Gyro went on Zeus as well.
Yeah. No, specifically because Gyro went on Zeus, so you wouldn't die. And like if you had, instead of denying the rune, you just run up and frostbite him, he's 100% dead. Whereas he's gonna get away here. It looks like.
Yeah.
So like you definitely go for this kill, and this is like an awareness thing, like not looking at your hero your whole time. Like you want to keep in mind your hero's positioning, but you also want to like make sure you understand what heroes are vulnerable and when. Like let's look at the rune thing again. Okay, so the river is like a notorious place for mids to just randomly die and feed kills. And especially a hero like Zeus, who has no boots, who is 295 base move speed, very little strength, not very much armor, 1 armor, it's nothing. Like he's in such a bad position right now. Like this is a guaranteed kill, if your mid is following up anyway. And he was,
yeah.
like he was ready to go on that. But yeah, that was definitely a kill. You want to like keep in mind what heroes you can kill and with who, or with whom. I don't know, whatever. Fuck grammar. I hate English. Okay. Moving on. Good, you popped the clarity. You guys are taking a little bit too much creep aggro here.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be tanking these. It's good to pop the clarity, but you want to like run back right afterward. Alright. Yeah, this is silly. Like basically the conditions for you guys killing this hero are if a Photic Shield is on cooldown, and like you have the damage. Like obviously, you need to be able to do enough damage to kill him. So because he can purge off your frostbite, you shouldn't even be going for this kill in the first place.
Yep.
Dire's top tower
Okay,
is
moving
under
on.
attack.
Again, you should be higher level than this really. Like you should be doing more camps.
Okay.
So unless you specifically want to get a kill in a lane and you know how to do it and like what spells to use when, then you should just be jungling. It's better to have missed a kill opportunity and have gotten creeps than to like think you can get a kill but miss it, and not gotten any creeps.
Okay.
Okay, you stack and go for the rune. Standard rotation. Definitely. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I think that was pretty much fine.
I'm your god too.
I do want to see what you saw before then, though. Okay, so right now Wraith King is showing on the map, but then he disappears, and you still walk for. Okay, now he shows, I think. Okay, good. So this guy he has a stun, and
Okay.
he is briefly off the map, but he ends up showing anyway, so it doesn't matter. But if he had stayed in fog, then you don't go for this rune, because like
Okay.
he could match you, like he could meet you here and stun you, and you died to him and Zeus. So you want to
Okay.
like really know who the threats are on their team when it comes to like doing this rotation. It's a good rotation to go for the rune and contest it, but you need to be really mindful of that. I think I talked about that last game too, but it applies to like literally every game. So
Yeah.
Go easy. I'm your god too.
okay, now you should do a jungle creep or a jungle camp. This camp kind of sucks. Generally, like you just want to do the hard camp like as much as you can, because like
Okay.
the worst creep you can get here is a centaur, and that's because it gives like a little bit of XP compared to the other ones. Whereas you can get like a lot of bad creeps here. You can get golems or ogres, mud golems. You can get the mini satyrs, which aren't good. So you just generally want to farm this camp, unless you're like stacking it or something. Like you're really good at killing one specific creep at a time, so you might as well make it like a really big one, like a wild wing or a troll summoner, something like that.
Okay.
Okay, you go for tranquil boots. It's a good choice. Really good against Zeus. You need just the HP, or the HP regen rather.
And then
Go
I
ahead.
think I was gonna smoke mid here. At least that was the plan. I think that we didn't end up doing that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's good to have a smoke on you anyway. This is a good habit on a hero like CM, especially when that you have like a gank target like the Zeus, and you have partners like Gyro and Slardar. That's good. Again, I noticed you're not even glancing at these fights that are happening, and you should like at least give a glance to like see what spells are being used and stuff like that in case you want to TP.
Yeah.
Also, having a TP is good too on CM. It's not like nearly as good as having it on Dazzle or another support, but it is good. Like you have a stun, so ultimately it's fine. Skill build looks good. Not much to say about that.
So what do you max? Like, what do you max first? Is the question. CM.
It's changes game to game, but I usually like maxing Nova actually, like Crystal Nova. The slow is very high value, the attack slow is very high value, and the nuke is really good. But if you're playing against like Queen of Pain or Anti-Mage, who have built-in blinks, then Frostbite is usually good to get like 2 to 3 points in, because like they can't blink during the duration, whereas they can blink when they're slowed. So that's pretty much the only exception. I usually go like 0, 1, 2 at level 3, and then 2, 1, 2 at 5, and then skill my ultimate, and then max Crystal Nova after that.
Okay.
Here, I'll write that in Skype because that was like really fast. 0, 1, 2. At 5.
Radiant's
Okay.
middle tower is under attack.
Moving on.
So I have a question. Do you
Radiant's
ever find it
structures are
I
fortified.
don't know how much CM you play, but like,
Mhm.
do you ever find it useful to skip your ult at 6? Because I feel like most of the time, especially with little coordination at 2K, I can't actually get an effective ult
Radiant's
off
middle
at
tower is
6,
under attack.
like that early in the game.
I mean, you could probably make an argument for not skilling it, but I like skilling it just because, like, I don't know. The few times I have played it recently, I felt like I got at least one decent ultimate off.
Okay.
And maybe this is just like, you know, how I played the game. Like, it just works out better. But
Okay.
I don't have any good argument for skilling it, other than it's a really good spell and it's good for fighting.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shitty answer, but that's all I got. I think it's not game losing to
Dire's
skill it,
top
but
tower is under
I think
attack.
it's a good spell and you can get kills with it, so you should skill it.
At least I
Dire's
came
bottom
to
tower
notice.
is under attack.
Okay. Interesting stuff.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, the dreaded. I hate when this happens so much. When you go to like complete your tranquils and you also want to buy a Sage's Mask. This is the worst. Like this happens
Oh,
so
yeah.
much where it forms a Basilius. That is the worst.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
You should be buying a TP here though, rather than the Sage's Mask. It's higher value.
Okay.
Generally, when I go back to base like this, I like buying 2 TPs, just so I have one available, you know, after the cooldown is up. But
Yeah.
it's not the end of the world if you don't.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Are fortified.
But yeah, you should definitely be at higher level in this. Part of it was because you went for the medium camp so many times rather than the hard camp, and part of it was because you just didn't prioritize jungling so much.
Okay.
Dire's bottom tower.
It's actually it's especially important in this game because they have so much just random AoE damage. Like they have Fissure and Zeus. Zeus naturally does like just a ton of AoE damage through
Yeah.
Thunder Gods. You know, all of his spells they do AoE damage. So you want to have as many levels as you possibly can, like just so you have more strength from your base stats, etc.
This'll come in handy.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay, it's speeding up.
Radiant's top tower is
All right,
under attack.
we're getting pretty close to time for my next lesson.
Radiant's
So
top
I think we should
tower
start,
has
you know,
fallen.
wrapping things up and
Yeah.
talking about like final questions, practice habits, yeah, stuff like that. Do you have any specific questions or no?
Yeah, I guess less like on gameplay, but
Okay.
for learning new heroes, how would you recommend I go about doing that? Because my hero pool is pretty limited.
I think a limited hero pool is completely fine. Like, I think I can answer how to like learn new heroes afterward, but I think having a hero pool of 3 to 4 heroes is actually ideal until you get higher MMR.
Okay.
Like, preferably really basic heroes, like CM and Dazzle are great examples. Like they're simple, they don't have a lot to distract them, but they have jobs and they're really important, and it doesn't like they're not easy. Like so,
Okay.
despite being simple heroes, they still have hard jobs, and you need to do well. So I think playing these heroes and just building fundamental skills, like you're improving your positioning, improving your early game efficiency, improving your warding, your lane pulling, like making sure you never miss a pull, you always know when to pull, making sure you don't miss kills on the offlaner, you don't let them get too much XP. I think all of this is like way more important than any kind of increase in your hero pool, like because when you get all of these things down, like zoning the offlaner, warding, fighting, spacing, positioning, all of these things also apply to other heroes. So
Yeah.
you're almost like learning different heroes in a way just by getting better at Dota. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So to answer your original question, you learn heroes by you first start off by watching a pro game or something, or someone who's really really good, like 6K or
Okay.
above at least. Just play the hero, and then you emulate what they do, and like try to reverse engineer like what they do. Like Arteezy builds XX next on Ember Spirit, so I should build all these things, and then see why he does it afterward. That's how I learn anyway. And then afterwards, you can start branching out into different skill builds, item builds, and just playing around with stuff. But that's the general best way. But
Okay.
I mean, it's totally fine to learn new heroes, but I think just sticking with simple ones is like totally fine. Don't worry about counter picks or anything like that.
Yeah. I don't think I really had any other specific questions.
Okay.
Oh yeah. All right. So when's a good time? Defensive warding versus offensive warding. Like when should I? Is there like specific signs I should look out for to know?
This is like it's such a hard question because like I need examples here. Like I need what's the composition of each team, who has golds, who's really strong, who has high levels, if these people are good players and if they're actively ganking, that kind of stuff. Generally, defensive wards are okay if you're not like Okay, here's actually like an okay rule, and it's not
Dire's
100%
middle
true in all
tower is under
cases,
attack.
but
Okay.
if you have a tower down in an area,
For the treasure.
then it's okay to ward aggressively. But if these towers are up, then you should ward defensively.
Radiant's
Okay.
top
And the
tower
reasoning
is
for that
under attack.
is like basically because they can TP to these towers, like you're on Dire, so you know they can TP here. They can get to these areas faster. So really aggressive wards, you know, back here aren't as good. But they're like okay. But yeah. I don't know. The question is too general for me to give you like a sick
Yeah, yeah.
answer. Also, if anyone gives you a specific answer to that, try to like be really wary of that, because like I don't know, that's a bad sign usually. But yeah. All right. Well, if that's all you have, then you know, feel free to hit me up on Skype or whatever if you have a question that comes to mind. Don't bite.
Okay. Well, thanks for the sitting down and doing this.
Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for. Thanks for the practice. I certainly need it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, take care, dude.
See ya.